Welcome back, guys. So, the official list came out, and of course, I'm sure by now you will have seen the uh, people that made the list. Lots of great players in the list, but of course, there were also lots of great players who didn't make the list because it's a very limited list, and not everybody will show up on the list. So, I've made this video to talk about if some of the you know some of the very important players or some of the great players that we would not be seeing in this year's uh in next year's Afcon, as the Afcon that's going to be played in January 2024. So I'm going to start with Gift Urban because I feel like it feels like he's the guy that's you know that is the most unfortunate, based on the performances that he's had to put up this year. And of course, with all the controversies revolving around Togo, playing for Togo, his mother's country, and also playing for Nigeria, his father's country, he decided to play for Nigeria. And in the end, we did not see him on the list. So I think he's probably the biggest missed on my list of players that will not be seen. And but then I was actually trying to find out why, and I saw, from a known source, a very credible source, and that they've hinted that the actual reason why Gift Urban wasn't included wasn't because of his performance or because of the fact that he didn't meet the expectation in terms of what he should be doing, but it was based on the fact that there is still some sort of uh, uh, conflict between Nigeria and Togo as regards who he is going to pledge his allegiance to. I understand that that conflict hasn't been resolved, and inviting Gift Urban to play for Nigerian Super Eagles might, draw some kind of sanctioning or punishment from FIFA to Nigeria, because Togo do not want to leave that case. They are constantly on the case and don't want the guy to play for Nigeria. So that seemed like a bit of an issue. And based on what I've been seeing from a reliable source, that was the primary reason why Gift Urban was left out of the list. But good luck to the lad. We hope that he continues to shine, and then hopefully this case can be resolved so that he will be able to, make the call up in subsequent duties. So the other promising guys that will be missing because of the fact that they were not called up are the likes of 22-year-old Joshua Zazi, who is a Dutch Nigerian player. He plays currently for Bologna, and they are currently doing well at fourth position in the Serie A. He's a striker, and he's under the tutelage of Thiago Motta, who's doing something great with Bologna. So, but we thought that he was going to be called up, but he was left out of the list. And the next guy here on my list is Henry Onyekuru, who plays for Saudi Pro League side Al Fayha. Onyekuru happened to have resurged his career, and then it looked like he was going to be called up because of the series of good performances he's had to put in of late. But it turns out that Peseiro is deciding to go on without him. And the next person is Chidera Ejuke, who plays as a winger for Belgian Pro League club Royal Antwerp. Ejuke was making a few call-ups, and then he was shining for his club side. But it was a bit of a shock to me when I found out that he wasn't among the list. But again, not everybody will be on the list. So the next person is Chuba Uche, who plays as a striker for Ajax. Chuba is another shock to me, really, and we'll not be seeing him in the Afcon this January. And we have also Peter Olayinka, who plays for the Serbian club side Red Star Belgrade. He also will not be on the. He also will not be representing Nigeria in Afcon, because coach has decided to move on without him. Etebo is also a player who came, in the radar, but it turns out that he is not going to be considered for this one. Then we also have Maduka Okoye. I talked about him already, but it feels like the coach is not, confident in his abilities to get the job done for Afcon, so he's been left out. And then the few of the home base goalkeepers have been included, and then Zoho and the other guy who keeps for the Israeli club. So the last person on my list is Akko Adams. He plays for Montpellier as a striker. He actually, was gaining the headlines as a possible candidate for the Afcon, but it's not going to happen because he has been left out of the list. So this list now of mine is not by any way a conclusive list of all the players that that Nigeria could have added, because we have a whole lot of stars out there. NFF has tons of stars on their list, but then again, it's only just 27 people that will be needed for the Afcon. But good luck to the guys. We hope that they continue to perform for their club side and be ready when the country calls on them to represent.